So, hello, hello students, and we'll be starting with the presentations right away. I hope those who are having a presentation today, they are there in the class. So, shall we start? I'm sure I can start. Okay, so the first one is Mitali. Is she there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please start.
I have chosen the second topic, the use of macroeconomics theory in real life situations. First one is the gross domestic product. It is like a snapshot of the economy at a certain point in time. Macroeconomists tend to use real GDP. The only one drawback of GDP is that information has to be collected after a specified time period has passed. These figures can be compared across economies, and we can determine which foreign countries are economically strong or weak. Based on what they learn from the past, analysts can then begin to forecast the future state of the economy. The next one is the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate tells macroeconomists how people from the available pool of labor are unable to find work. Next one is inflation as a factor. It is also called as inflation rate or the rate at which prices rise. Inflation is primarily measured in two ways through consumer price index and GDP deflator. Another one is demand and disposable income. What ultimately determines output is demand. Demand comes from consumers or savings, from the government, and from imports and exports. So, to determine demand, a consumer's disposable income must also be measured. This is the amount of money left for spending or investment after taxes. And the last one is monetary policy. A simple example of monetary policy is the central bank's open market operations. When there is a need to increase cash in the economy, the central bank will buy government bonds. On the other hand, when the central bank needs to absorb extra money in the economy and push inflation levels down, it will sell its T bills. And also, another one is fiscal policy. The government can also increase taxes or lower government spending in order to conduct a fiscal contraction. A fiscal expansion by the government would mean taxes and decreased or government spending is increased. A government will tend to use a combination of both monetary and fiscal options when setting policies that deal with the economy. Thank you.
Okay. The next one is Devanshi. Is Devanshi there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please start, Beta.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Devanshi Sangani, and today I will discuss the main major impacts of inflation on the life of citizens. Firstly, inflation is referred to a rise in the general price level caused by an imbalance between the quantity of money and trade needs. Inflation affects to everyone. Our life, our lifestyle is based on our income and our expenses. Sometimes people who have a high standard of living but not a high enough income end up borrowing money to make up the difference. Now I will discuss the effects of inflation. So first effect on farmers. Farmers also gain because the rise in the price of agriculture products is usually higher than the increase in price of other goods. Inflation brings a shift in pattern of distribution of income and wealth in the country. Second, effects on income and employment. Inflation increases the national income of the community as a whole on account of larger spending and greater oil production. But the real income of the people fails to increase proportionately due to a fall in the purchasing power of money. Third, effects on the production. The rising price stimulates the production of all the goods, both of consumption and capital goods. As producers get more and more profit, They try to produce more and more by utilizing all available resources. The products and the farmers would increase their stock in the expectation of further rise in prices. As a result, holding and cornering of commodities will increase. Fourth, effects on the business and trade. The volume of internal trade tends to increase during inflation due to higher incomes, greater production, and larger spending, but the export trade is likely to suffer on account of a rise in the price of domestic goods. Now, I will discuss some key takeaways of inflation. First, inflation raises prices, lowering goods purchasing powers. Second, it also lowers the values of pensions, savings, and treasury notes. Third, variable interest rates on loans increase during inflation. Thank you.
Good. So the next one is Vidhi,
Yes, ma'am.
please.
My topic is impact of inflation. Inflation means you have to pay more for the
Vidhi,
same.
you'll have to be a bit louder.
Okay, ma'am. Inflation means you have to pay more for the same goods and services. This can help you in the form of income inflation or asset inflation, such as in housing or stocks. If you own these assets before price rise, but if your income doesn't keep pace with inflation, your buying power declines. Over time, inflation increases your cost of living. If the inflation rate is high enough, it hurts the economy. The effect depends on the type of inflation. For example, working inflation is 3% to 10% per year. It hits up economic growth too fast. People buy more than they need to avoid tomorrow's higher prices. Supplier can't keep up. More importantly, neither can wages. As a result, every goods and services are priced out of most people's reach. Asset inflation. Inflation doesn't affect everything the same way. For example, gas price could double while your home loses value. That's what happened during the financial crisis of 2008. Home prices deflated, falling 22%. Meanwhile, inflation occurred in oil prices. They reached an all-time high of $128 a in 2008 since oil prices influence gas prices. Thank you.
Okay. Kids, please note that you have to take at least 2 to 3 minutes. If people are winding it off before that. Okay, the next one is Bansit. Is Bansit there?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Please start.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bansit Ramal. Let me explain about the impact of inflation on the life of citizen of a country. Inflation, inflation means you have to pay for more the same goods and services. This can help you in a form of income inflation or assist inflation, such as in a housing or stocks. If you own assists before prices rise, but if your income doesn't keep pace with inflation, your buying power declines over time. Inflation increases your cost of living, and the inflation rate is high enough. It hurts the economy. People buy more than they need to avoid tomorrow's higher price. Supplier can't keep up. More importantly, neither can wax. As a result, everyday goods and services are priced for most people reach. When inflation helps the economy. Sometimes inflation is a good for the economy when it's mild. Inflation has a healthy side effect. Once people starts to export inflation, they send they spend now rather than later because they know price will be higher in the future. Consumer spending drive economic growth. In fact, the Federal Reserve sets in an inflation target. It wants a healthy core inflation rate of 2%, which takes out of the effect for food and energy prices. The central bank wants a little inflation, which also leads consumers to believe prices will continue rising. Effect on the retirement planning. Inflation can be bad for your retirement planning. Your target almost must keep rising to pay for the same quality of life. In other words, your savings will buy less as time goes on. To be prepared for inflation during your retirement, save more than you think you will need. It's also important to begin saving as soon as possible in order to benefit as much you can from compounding interest. Thank you.
Okay. And next one is Vatsal. Is Vatsal there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please start.
Good afternoon. And my topic is the impact of inflation on the life of citizen of country. The inflation can be defined as a general rise in the price of all commodities. It is not a rise in price of any specific good, but the overall rise in the price of all goods and services manufactured and consumed within the territory of nation. In economics, inflation is general price level in a level of an economy over a period of time. When the general price level rises, each unit of currency buys fewer goods and services. Consequently, inflation reflects a reduction in purchasing power per unit of money, a loss in a real value in a medium of exchange, and a unit of account within an economy. The common measure of inflation is the inflation rate, the annualized percentage change in a general price index. Usually, the consumer price index. In India, it's wholesalers price index. When we say that the monthly rate of inflation is 10%, it means the average prices of all goods and services have increased by 10% in a period of last 1 month. So let's see the types of inflations. There are two basic types of inflation, that is demand pull and cost push inflation. Demand pull inflation is where the demand of a commodity increases due to high money flow in a market, and it surpasses the supply and the producer can't keep up, hence it increases the price. And cost push inflation is a type of inflation which is driven by the increasing prices of factor of production. There are few more types of inflation based on the rate. They are creeping inflation, walking, running, and galloping inflation. When the inflation is around 2 to 3%, it is known as creeping. When inflation rate is around 3 to 10%, it is called walking. And when it is 10 to 20%, it is known as running. And when it surpasses 50%, it is known as galloping inflation or hyperinflation. What are the impacts of inflation? When it comes to the cost of living, the rising inflation means it has become more expensive to maintain a precious lifestyle. If your income hasn't increased over a measured period by at least a rate of inflation, when you are buying, then your buying power will have fallen, as the cost of goods and services will have increased over that time. Inflation does not just affect our everyday expenses, but it also impacts our savings, investment, and pension plans. In case of savings, if inflation is usually the case is higher than the interest rate, then the real terms return in will become negative, meaning one may want to think about whether cash is the best place to stay in long term. High rate of inflation will have an adverse effect on saving of economy, as people spend more to sustain their present standard of living, less it is being saved. For those saving for retirement or pension plans, as the higher rate of inflation, they can erode the buying power of a person's pension fund when they need it. Higher rate of inflation also hit hard the exports of the economy. As the cost of production will rise, the export will become less competitive in the international market. Thus, the export has adverse effect on the balance of payment. Is inflation is good? Sometimes inflation is good. When it is mild, inflation has a healthy side effect. That is at the rate at the 2%. It helps in economic growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Vatsal. So the next one is Keyur. Is Keyur Goswami there? Is Keyur Goswami there? Should I check? Okay, Keyur is not there. Keval, are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
So good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Karl Androdia, and the topic is the condition of India in the international community and a comparative study of pre and post COVID time. Okay, so shall I start? Okay. So the coronavirus has damaged the economy all over the world, and India is a developing nation. We all know that. And the if we talk about the sustainability, our economy has largely affected in a bad manner. The GDP growth has fallen to 3.1% if we compare to 2020. And the Ministry of Statistics have said that if we don't appear well in upcoming times, so it will be a tough time for India. And the chief economic advisor said also the same, apparently. And the impact has been on the many sources, if we call about the many fields like the tourism industry, hospitality industry, the trade unions like international trade unions, and the what can I say, supply chains and all that. So if we saw all these things and compare it to the last year, not the last to last year, 2019, so the growth is fallen apart in a huge manner. Uh, but there are some hopes also created by the if so many doors close, the hope of doors open also. So the government of India generated the program of Atmanirbhar Bharat, and according to that, the new startup program has emerged very well in India. The newcomers who want to start their businesses, they get free loans and all that. And uh, go- government wants to import less and export more. So in this manner, I think if we implement it well in our all the aspects and seeing all the conditions, so may in few years we can cover up all the losses we have fallen apart, and maybe we see good years for the India. But if we talk about the pre-COVID situations, whenever we compare to the world market, India is still not there. The GDP ratio is lower and lower. Yes, we managed to record some of the great things like the Sensex reached 50,000 points. The GDP crossed 7.6 point growth ratio for the first time ever. And we managed to include ourselves in the top, uh, what can I say, top grossing economic countries, like top five, with the Germany, US, and all that. So still, India is a developing nation. We know that, but uh, there are some programs like to uh, give employment, like more than 30% of the girls. And in 2019 also we have implemented one rule that those who are 20 plus and want to work in some government areas and they don't have jobs, so government will pay them those kind of wages. So that's some of the good steps, and the manner of the savings and the savings the penny in each manner has covered up the India in a very well manner in this crisis situation. So for the conclusion, I can say that um, yes, India suffering a lot, but if we implement all these things very well, so we will be seeing a good future of our India, and maybe we will convert to the developed nation, not the developing nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kibir. The next one is Parita. Is Parita Shah there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please start.
Good afternoon. My
Just
topic
a
is
second, just a second, Parita. After Parita, I'll request Surbhi, Bhavini, and Aditya Raj Singh to be ready. Now you can start, Beta.
Good afternoon. My topic is the impact of inflation on the life of citizen of a country. So what is inflation? In economics, inflation is a general rise in the price level of an economy over a period of a time. When the general price level rises, each unit of currency buys fewer goods and services. Consequently, inflation reflects a reduction in the purchasing power per unit of a money, a loss of a real value in the medium of exchange and unit of account within the economy. An increase in the money supply may be called monetary inflation to distinguish it from a rising price, which for clarity may be called a price inflation. Economists generally agree that in the long run, price inflation is related to the increase in the money supply. Economists believe that very high rates of inflation and higher inflation are harmful and are caused by the excessive growth of the money supply. However, the view is that a long sustained period of inflation is caused by money supply growing faster than the rate of economic growth. Main causes of inflation. There are three main causes of inflation. First, demand pull inflation, aggregate demand growing faster than the aggregate supply. Second, cost push inflation. If there is an increase in the cost of firms, then business will pass this on to the consumer. Third, devaluation, increasing cost of imported goods and also the boost to domestic demand. Effects of inflation. First, positive effects. First, higher profit. Inflation usually benefits the producer of a product. They experience better profits since they can sell their products at a higher price. Second, better investment returns. During inflation, investors and entrepreneurs receives added incentives for investing in the productive activities. Therefore, they receive the better returns. Third, increase in production. Once the producer receives the right investment, they create more goods and services. Hence, inflation leads to an increase in production of product and services. Fourth, more employment and better income. Since production increases, there is an increased demand for various factors of production, including manpower. Therefore, employment and income increases during inflation. Negative effects. First, fixed income groups experience a fall in income. The true income of an individual is the purchasing power of the monetary income. For a people belonging in the fixed income group will experience a fall in real income. In other words, their purchasing power will reduce. Second, inequality in income distribution increasing. During inflation, businessmen and entrepreneurs experience an increase in profits. On the other hand, people belonging to the fixed income group experiences a decline in their real income. Hence, the inequality in income distribution becomes accurate during this period. Third, negative impact on the export income. Since the prices of raw materials and factors of production increases, the price of export items also increases during inflation. Hence, the demand in the foreign markets might fall, which leads to fall in the export income of the country. So here I conclude that inflation is not stable and depends on the economic growth, expectations and monetary policies. Emerging market targets their inflation in order to get a maximum in economic growth, and due to continuous increase in price, the life of people are affected. Thank you.
Thank you. Surbhi? Is Surbhi there? Surbhi Pipaliya, is she there? Okay. Bhavini,
Yes, ma'am.
please start.
Good afternoon. My topic is macroeconomics theories in real life situations. First, economic growth and development. Economic growth means increase in real national income and national outputs. Economic development means an improvement in quality of life and living standards. Second, theory of national income. Theory of determination of national income is concerned with finding out the equilibrium level of national income. Third, theory of money. Theory of money is one of the directions of Western economy thought emerged in the 16th and 17th century. Fourth, theory of international trade. Trades is a concept of exchanging goods and services between two people or entities. Fifth, theory of employment. Keynes' theory of employment is based on the principle of effective demand. In other words, level of employment is a capitalist economy depends on the level of effective demand. 6. Theory of price standard. In economic, price level refers to the buying power of money or inflation. In other words, economist describes the state of economy by looking at how much people can buy with the same dollar or currency. Thank you.
Hello, please continue, beta.
Ma'am, it's over.
इतना सा?
Yes, ma'am.
I told you yesterday also, no? At least keep it for 3 minutes.
Ma'am, but I told you my friend made it for me, so
चलो कोई बात नहीं. Whatever you said was good, but try to keep it at least for the length of at least 3 minutes, because then it won't be. But
sorry, ma'am.
your content justified. It's okay. Aditya Raj Singh, are you there? Aditya Raj Singh. Okay. See, those who are not there, they'll be marked as absent. Amreen,
Yes, ma'am.
please start, beta.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is impact of inflation on the life of citizen of a country. First, what is inflation? Inflation is a measure of the rate of rising prices of goods and services in an economy. Inflation can occur when price rises due to increase in production costs, such as raw material and wages. Next, how does inflation affect your lifestyle? Inflation might be something that not many people understand, yet we all experience it and feel its effects. When you head to the store expecting to spend a budgeted amount of money on something, only to spend a lot more, you have experienced inflation. Of course, when a price rises on a product, it's not always due to inflation. Yet, inflation still affects your cost of living by increasing the cost of goods and services. This is why it's so important to consider inflation when planning for the future. Even if the future is as soon as next year, especially when planning for retirement, you need to ask yourself what you want as your standard of living, because inflation directly affects your lifestyle. Exactly how does inflation affects your lifestyle? It impacts your life in more way than one. How inflation personally affects you? Yes, inflation affects everyone, yet it affects everyone very differently. Your lifestyle is based on your income and your expenses. Sometimes people who have a high standard of living but not a high enough income end up borrowing money to make up the difference. When inflation rises, borrowing money becomes very expensive. This means either people take over loans or they are unable to spend less money because it's going towards debt payment. For those people whose standard of living matches their income, inflation can be both a positive and a negative. Usually, when inflation rises, your income also rises as they are adjustment based on cost of living. This is the case for anyone with a current income and also for those on social security. However, even with an increased income, expenses also rise. For those on a fixed income like retirees, inflation can greatly affect their standard of living. Thank you.
Good, beta. Okay, then who's the next one? Om Mehta. Om Mehta, are you there? Om Mehta. Please inform the students they'll not be marked at all for this. Out of 5, they'll be getting 0. Paras Baria.
Yes, ma'am. My topic
Paras.
is macroeconomic theory. Macroeconomic theory is the study of large scale economic issues such as those which affect the entire economy. This is an contrast to the macroeconomic, which looks at smaller scale economic principles. Macroeconomic is a highly practical discipline as it deals with principles that directly impact every part of life. The economy has a knock-on effect on almost every part of the people's live as a nation's economy. Well-being affects its employment, healthcare, consumer confidence, and so forth. So far, macroeconomic is a broad discipline which encompasses many separate areas of study. The principles of macroeconomic can broadly be grouped into two areas of concern. First, the effect on the business cycle on wider economy, and secondly, what causes an economy to grow over a long period of time. The principle of macroeconomic aim to analyze the many different factors that relates to performance and structure of large macroeconomics, such as economic of national or economy of entire world. National income. The area of macroeconomic analyze the wealth a nation generates. These are different measures for this, such as gross national product, gross domestic product, and net national income. The underlying purpose of all this is to paint a picture of the financial health of a nation. The basic approach to this undertaking is looking at the value of goods and services produced by a national over the course of a year. Inflation. Inflation is the study of how the cost of goods and services rise as time goes on. Economic output. This is the study of the goods and services which is national economic produces. A high output is desirable as the more money that is spent on a nation's goods and services. International trade. This is area of macroeconomics looks at the trade and occurs between nations in a term of goods and services and raw materials. International trade often from a large part of national income as the world is obviously a far larger market place than a single nation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Paras. The next one is Savan.
Yes, ma'am.
Savan, please start.
My topic is impact on inflation. Inflation does not affect everything that same way. For example, gas price could not double while your home loses value. That what happened during the financial crisis of 2008. Home price defect falling 22%. Inflation rises prices, lowering your purchase power. It also lowers the value of pension savings treasury notes. Variable in interest rates on loan increase during inflation. Meanwhile, inflation occurs in oil prices. They reached an all-time high of $128 a barrel in 2008. Same oil price inflation influence gas price. The cost of gas rose above $3.50 a gasoline in some part of United States. Driving to work become even more expensive and even stressful at a time when many workers were worried about keeping their jobs. Sometimes inflation is good for the economy when in mild inflation has healthy sides effect. One part start to export inflation they spend now rather than later because they know the prices will be higher in the future. Consumer spreading drives economic growth. In fact, the Federal Reserve set an inflation target. It was a healthy core inflation rate of 2%, which takes out the effect of food and energy prices. The central bank want to little inflation, which also leads to consumer believe price with continue rising. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Savan. Okay, now before go moving further, is Hiteshvi there? Hiteshvi. From yesterday's group, Hiteshvi Kabir, Mansi Vora. Is Mansi Vora there? Okay. Is Harshayu Trivedi there?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to present?
Yes, ma'am. I have prepared little bit.
Please start.
Uh, my topic is the use of macroeconomics theories in real life situations. Macroeconomics is the study of the behavior of the economy as a whole. This is different from microeconomics, which concentrates more on individuals and how they make economic decisions, while microeconomics looks at a single factor that affect individual decisions. Macroeconomics studies general economic factors. Macroeconomics is a very complicated with many factors that influence it. These factors are analyzed with various economic indicators that tell us about the overall health of the economy. Macroeconomists study topics such as GDP, unemployment rates, national income, price indicates, output, consumption, unemployment, inflation, saving, investment, international trade, and international finance, etc. Done, man.
Okay, chalo, thank you. So the next one we are having is, other than Harshayu, one more was absent yesterday, and that was Prem Ladhani. Is he there? Prem. Fine. So now we are having Sakshi Jogi. Sakshi Jogi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please start, beta.
Okay. Greetings, ma'am. I'm Sakshi Jogi, and I'm going to speak about what did Keynes mean by "in the long run, we are all." The entire economists were believing that full employment is maintained by an automatic and self-adjusting mechanism in the long run. But Keynes had no patience to wait for a long period, for he believed that in the long run, we are all dead. It is not the automatic adjustment process which removes unemployment, but unemployment can be removed by increasing the rate of investment. In the first place, Keynes was complaining about the classical economics, that is, the ideas of the economists before him. He believed that the market, if unhampered after a recession, could reduce or eliminate the unemployment associated with the business cycle. For Keynes, the short run was important, and due to the instability of the macroeconomy, government intervention may be necessary to kickstart the economy. Classical economists tend to be more dismissive of short-term falls in output. According to their models, the rise in real output below equilibrium will only be temporary, and the economy will return to the equilibrium once started. In particular, classical economists argued that if the economy is below full employment, wages should fall and labor markets will clear, solving the unemployment. But Keynes argued that this was a wrong approach. He stated that the economy may well return to full employment, but without government intervention, this could take a long time. This is why he quipped, in the long run, we are all dead. Why wait 10 years for reduction in unemployment when the reduction could be achieved much quicker? He argued that what happened in the short run could influence the long run. High unemployment created a negative multiplier effect which reduces output even further. When resources are idle, it may be difficult to get them re-employed. He also highlighted the fact labor markets may not clear. For example, wages are sticky downwards, but also, even if wages did fall, this could be damaging because workers would have less income and so spending would continue to fall. This analysis provided the justification for government intervention, increased government spending financed by borrowing to kickstart the economy and make use of passing saving. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sakshi. And we'll continue further with Soham Patel. Is Soham there? Soham. Is Soham there? Generally, this guy is there in the class.
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
Am I
Are
audible,
you
ma'am?
ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
My name is Soham Patel. Good noon, ma'am. Today I am here to discuss the impact of inflation of life of citizen of a country. Inflation is a general rise in the price of all commodities. It is not the rise in the price of favorite commodity, but overall rise price of all the goods and services manufactured and consumed within the territory of a nation. In economics, inflation is a general rise in the price level of an economy over a period of time. When the general price level rises, each unit of the currency buys fewer goods and the services consequently. Inflation reflects a reduction in the purchasing power per unit of a money, a loss of a real value in the medium of exchange and the unit of account within the economy. The common measure of inflation is the inflation rate, the annualized percentage change in a general price index, usually the consumer price index over time. When we say that the monthly rate of an inflation is at 10%, what it means is that on the average, the prices of all the goods and the services have increased by 10% in the period of last 1 month. There are total 6 types of inflations. The first one is the demand pull inflation, the second is the cost, third is the creeping, fourth is the walking, fifth is the running, and sixth is the galloping. Now, the main impact of an inflation. When it comes to the cost of living, a rising inflation means it has become more expensive to maintain our previous lifestyle. If your income hasn't increased over the measure period by at least the rate of inflation, then your buying power will have fallen as the cost of goods and the service will have increased over that time. Inflation doesn't just affect our everyday expenses, but could also impact our saving investments and the pensions. In case of saving, if inflation has is usually the case, is higher that interest rate, then in a real terms return will become negative. Meaning one may want to think about whether the cash is the best place to stay in the long term. High rate of inflation will have an adverse effect on the savings in the economy. As people spend more to sustain their present standard of living, less is being saved. This will result in a less loanable funds being available to the firms for investment. For those saving off or for retirement, high rates of inflation can erode the buying power of person's pension fund when they need it. High rate of inflation will hit hard the export industry in the economy. The cost of the production will rise and the export will become less competitive in the international market. Thus, inflation has an adverse effect on the balance of payment. The central bank might use monetary tools to control high inflation rate by increasing interest rates. This will increase the cost of borrowing and will have a negative effect on both consumption and investment both. Price rise has an adverse effect on the balance of payment situation due to the shortfall to essential items and the non-availability of a cheaper raw materials at home. Heavy imports of petroleum, fertilizer, and the raw material have led to deficit balance of payment, whereas export are always very low, resulting to shortfall in a foreign exchange earnings. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sohan. Okay, the next one is Gaurang Madhwani. Gaurang. Is Gaurang there in the class? Is Gaurang there? Those who are marked absent today, they'll be given one more chance tomorrow, but not after that. Yashraj,
Yes, ma'am.
please start.
Yes, ma'am. The impact, ma'am, I would like to speak on the topic, the impact of inflation on life of citizen of country.
Inflation is somehow becoming the hot topic nowadays. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. The term inflation originally referred to a rise in general price level caused by an imbalance between the quantity of money and trade needs. However, economists today commonly use the term inflation to refer to increase in the price level. An increase in money supply may be called monetary inflation. To distinguish it from rising prices, which is, for clarity, may be called price inflation. The inflation affects economies in various positive and negative ways. The negative effect of inflation include an increase in opportunity cost of holding money, uncertainty over future inflation which may discourage investment and savings, and if inflation were rapid enough, shortages of goods and consumers being holding out of concern that prices will increase in future. Positive effects include reducing unemployment due to nominal wage rigidity, allowing the central bank greater freedom in carrying out monetary policies, encouraging loans and investment. The effects of inflation can't be denied, yet there are ways to fight them. We should own at least some investment whose potential return exceeds the inflation rate. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Yashraj. Next, we are having Teerth.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
I would like to speak up on good economic condition is reflected from circular flow of income. The
Please.
circular flow of income or circular flow is a model of the economy in which major exchanges are represented as flows of money, goods and service, etc. between economic agents. The circular flow analysis is the basis of national accounts and hence of macroeconomics. The circular flow of income is a concept for better understanding of the economy as a whole. The circular flow diagram illustrates the interdependence of the flows or activities that occur in the economy, such as production of goods and service or the output of the economy and the income generated from that production. The circular flow also illustrates the equality between income earned from production and value of goods and services produced. In the five-sector model, there are leakages and injections. Leakage means withdrawal from the flow. When households and firms save part of their income, it constitutes leakage. They may be in form of savings, tax payments, and imports. Leakages reduce the flow of income. Injection means introduction of income into the flow. When households and firms borrow savings, they constitute injections. Injections increases the flow of income. Injections can take the forms of investment, government spending, and exports. The circular flow reveals that there are several different ways to measure the level of economic activity. From the household perspective, we can look at either the amount of income earned by households or the level of spending. From the firm's perspective, we can look at either the level of revenues earned from sales or amount of their payments to workers and shareholders. In all cases, the level of nominal economic activity would be measured at 300 billion pesos. Money being the lifeblood of a modern economy, its circular flow gives a clear picture of economy. We can know from its study whether the economy is working smoothly or there is any disturbance in its smooth functioning. As such, circular flow of money is of immense significance for studying the functioning of the economy and for helping the government in formulating policy measures. Thus, we concluded that a good economic condition can be reflected by circular flow of income as this flow is significant for both producers and for purchasers or buyers. Its smooth conduct defines the economic condition of any geographical region. Thus, the circular flow plays a very vital role in ascertainment of any place present money position. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Teerth. And last but not the least, we are having Prabhat. Prabhat, are you there in the class?
Good morning, ma'am.
Can you please start?
I would like to speak on the comparative study of India and international community, a comparative study of pre and post-COVID time. The economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in India has been largely disruptive. India's growth in the fourth quarter of the fiscal year 2020 went down to 3.1, according to Ministry of Statistics. The chief economic advisor to the government of India said that this drop is mainly due to the coronavirus pandemic effect on the Indian economy. Notably, India has also been witnessing a pre-pandemic slowdown. And according to the World Bank, the current pandemic has magnified pre-existing risks to India's economic outlook. Economic situation. Government revenue has been severely affected with the tax collection down. And as a result, the government has been trying to find ways to reducing its own costs. On 10th May 2020, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari said that some states didn't have money to pay salaries in the near future. In April, former Reserve Bank of India Chief Raghuram Rajan said that the coronavirus pandemic in India may be just be the greatest emergency since independence, while the former chief economic advisor to the government of India said in the April that India would prepare for a negative growth rate in FY21. Ratings and GDP estimates. State Bank of India research predicts a contraction of over 40% in the GDP of Q1 FY21. For the states, the total loss due to COVID-19 is estimated at 13.5% to the total gross state domestic product. The Ministry of Statistics released that India's GDP estimate of for Q1 FY21 at 3.1%, while the overall GDP for FY20 is 4.2. Krishnamurthy Subramaniam, the current CEA, said that the GDP growth slowed down to 3.1% in Q4 F20 is mainly due to the coronavirus pandemic effect on the Indian economy. The CEA pointed out that the ratings over 30 countries have also been downgraded. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Prabhat. Uh, as it was being informed by me yesterday also that if we are having time, we'll continue with the other five people, but we are not having time. Still, Taha wants to present, so just give him some time and then we'll wrap up the session. Taha, can you please present now?
Yeah, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Ma'am, my topic is the relationship of macroeconomics with various disciplines of life. Macroeconomics is the study of large-scale economic issues such as those which affect the entire economy. This in contrast to microeconomics, which looks at small-scale economic principles. Macroeconomics is a highly practical discipline as it deals with principles that directly impact every part of the life. The economy has a knock-on effect on almost every part of people's lives as a nation's economic well-being affects its employment, healthcare, consumer confidence, and so forth. Macroeconomics is a broad discipline which encompasses many separate areas of study. The principles of macroeconomics can broadly be grouped into two areas of concern. Firstly, the effects of the business cycle on the wider economy, and secondly, what causes an economy to grow over a long period of time. The principles of macroeconomics aim to analyze the many different factors that relate to the performance and structure of large macroeconomies, such as the economy of a nation or the country of the entire world. Principles of macroeconomics are basic explanation of key principles. National income. The area of macroeconomics analyzes the wealth a nation generates. There are different measures of this, such as gross national product, gross domestic product, and net national income. The underlying purpose of all this is to paint a picture of the financial health of a nation. The basic approach to this undertaking is looking at the value of goods and services produced by a nation over the course of a year. Inflation. Inflation is the study of how the cost of goods and services rises as time goes on. For example, if a car costs $1,000 more if is a given year than it did 10 years previously, that would be a case of inflation. Inflation is a complex area of economics, but the consensus among leading modern economists is that it's desirable for inflation to be kept at a low or steady rate as near to zero as possible. This helps negate the negative consequences of economic recession. Economic output. This is the study of the goods and services which a national economy produces. A high output is desirable as the more money that is spent on the nation's goods and services, the more benefit this holds for a country due to the fact that more people will be in employment and greater tax revenue will be raised. International trade. This area of macroeconomics looks at the trade that occurs between nations in terms of goods, services, and raw materials. International trade often forms a large part of nation's income, as the world is obviously a far larger marketplace than a single nation. International trade is vital to the world economy as often certain raw materials or goods are only or best produced in a certain country or region. For example, colder nations do not have the climate needed to produce bananas, so for the country to have banana availability, international trade is required. Principles of macroeconomics, the impact and importance of macroeconomic principles. When initially mentioned, the principles of macroeconomics may sound uninterested and abstract. Often people believe that economics is a dry subject which isn't relevant to everyday life. This is far from the truth. The principles of macroeconomics directly impact almost every area of life. They affect employment, government welfare, the availability of goods and services, the way nations interact with one another, the price of food in the shops, almost everything. We live in a capitalist world, so understanding the principles of macroeconomics is an essential part of understanding the world at large. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Taha. And thanks everyone else also. Tomorrow we'll continue with the schedule as already informed by me earlier. And those who were absent today, I will be giving them one more chance tomorrow. If they're present, they'll be able to put up their class. Thank you for attending the class. Have a good day.